MPs on the HS2 Select Committee have rejected calls for a full-length tunnel underneath the Chiltern Hills in Buckinghamshire, but they say a case has been made to extend the existing tunnel plans. It's basically a partial victory for campaigners. Martin Tett is the Conservative leader of Buckinghamshire County Council. Martin, welcome to the programme.
Roberto.
Welcome, Martin. What's your reaction to this decision by the HS2 Select Committee?
Well, to be honest with you, very disappointed. The local authorities, I think, put forward a really strong case for a fully bored tunnel right the way through the national area of outstanding natural beauty. And the Select Committee have not agreed with us. They say the case is not made. We disagree. We think if this was, for example, the Lake District or the Yorkshire Moors, we think there'd be a national outcry if they were doing this there. For some reason, they haven't accepted it through the Chilterns.
But there have been some concessions there, Martin. They're backing an extension at the northern end of the proposed South Heath tunnel and may recommend extending the tunnel at Wendover as well.
Yeah, they've said two things. It's a bit unclear, to be honest, from the statement exactly what's going on. But what it looks like is that at the moment there's a tunnel that ends around somewhere called Little Missenden, a place called Mantles Wood, which is an ancient piece of woodland. And they've agreed to extend it for probably about a mile, maybe a mile and a half to South Heath. Which is good in its own right, but it's a very short extension, and there's still something like 7 miles of the AONB beyond that, which will be exposed, including an enormous viaduct over somewhere called Wendover Dean, and we think that's wrong. At the Wendover end, they're very much vaguer. They've said that they look to extend what's called a green tunnel. Now, that's actually where they dig it out and just lightly cover it over, so it sort of looks like soil, but actually it's really where there's a cutting. And they've said that extend that southwards, but for how far? No idea.
The committee, one assumes, did not take this decision lightly, or they visited the county on a number of occasions. I mean, they listened to your arguments in Westminster. Maybe it just wasn't possible.
Well, they visited the county 3 times, which is great, and I pay credit to them for that. They've seen different parts of the county on each occasion, so they've only seen this area once. Only half the committee could come, and in fact, over half the committee are now new following the election. So obviously, the people who've come understand that, but a lot of the committee have never been here and have probably never visited the Chilterns. So we'd actually like the new members of the committee to have come, looked at the area, understood what was at stake, and then have made the decision. Because there are a lot of individual petitioners who still have not been heard. There's something like 900 people who want to go and tell the committee why they think there should be a longer tunnel.
Martin, what's your response going to be from now to this latest decision? I mean, is there any way you can realistically take this conversation?
Well, the process, and I'll just describe that really quickly, is the local authorities have put their case forward. There's now the autumn recess through August. And then in September, the individual petitioners go back to argue their case. And what we'd encourage anyone who's planning to petition themselves is not to be put off, to go ahead, petition, argue their case for an extended tunnel insofar as it affects them. And we will support them in that. And we hope we can persuade the committee to give us at least some more tunnelling, even if it's not the full length through the AONB.